It's Lunchtime Live. I'm so excited today. It's 12:30, but you may be watching this later. But it is time for Lunchtime Live. Come on in, join in. We're not doing Facebook and YouTube today because I have a special guest that's going to be joining me in a little bit. But I'm super excited. Hey, sis. Hey, Priscilla. You've been on my heart. I was just thinking about you today. Trust the boys are well and you're just into college life and all of that good stuff. Miss you, love you, and I'll text you. Hey, Dr. C, Dr. Sharice is in the room, First Lady Higgins. I got a special guest today, y'all, so come on in. You want to share this with somebody. On next Tuesday, September 27th, I am delighted to host our guest today. He's actually going to be in the building at New Light on Tuesday, September 27th for Shifting into Purpose. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, you got a new book out. Can you do me a favor and let's do a Lunchtime Live together? And it's rare that I have a guest for Lunchtime Live, but I'm delighted today that I actually have a guest. And so come on in, y'all come on in, and then we're going to get him on and invite him in. I see so many of y'all. I will shout all of y'all out. Hey, Desi, you said thanks. Hey, Pastor, thanks for continuing to do Lunchtime Live. I've really enjoyed it. I look forward to it every Wednesday. And for my She Rose League out there, I'm actually going to do a podcast. And yes, niece, this is going to be so good. I watched his live last night and it was amazing. So if you know somebody that normally watches us on Facebook or YouTube, tell them to come on over here to the Instagram world. We're going to get into this today and I'm looking forward to it. I got to make sure that I know how to bring him in a second. So I'm going to give like one more minute and we're going to go live with Dr. Dharius Daniels. It's going to be really, really good. And I can't wait. I can't wait for you all to join in with the conversation. And so I'm going to go ahead and send him an invite because I want all today that we can get. But go ahead. He just joined it. Hey, sir.
Dr. I, hey, you gotta give me a second. They gave me this fancy stand that's moving all over the place. I don't need a.
You know how they.
It's some robotic stand, and like I went out. The phone was looking like this. I said, "Let me hold this for a minute until y'all get this straightened out. Go get somebody that can help me." We got it. Okay.
Back in. You want? Are you on?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got the guy right here. I'm gonna pop back in.
All right, sounds good. Y'all, I am super excited while he's doing that. I'm super excited about Tuesday. I believe he is probably he's a voice for our now generation and our time. And I started listening to his book this morning and I'm already blown away by the first chapter. Actually, I'm on chapter 2. One of the most brilliant mind, prolific speaker, author. And when I tell you that this book and Tuesday will be life-changing, you've got to get to Revival for Houston, Texas. I'm telling y'all, fly in for this because it's going to be amazing. I want to know who's going to be in the building. You can text Revival 2 to 71441, Revival 2 to 71441. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. 7 p.m. at our North Campus. And then our team has a little Instagram challenge going on. If you record a selfie or do a selfie, post a selfie, inviting people to Revival Night and use the hashtag NLC Revival. The person with the most likes is going to win a prize. And y'all know I like to give away good stuff. So it's going to be really, really, really good. Okay, so let's see. I think he'll tell me when he's ready. So just put in the comments when you're ready, Dr. Daniels. But when I tell you, I have been like so hyped about today, like to have some time with him. You know, he's promoting his book, so he's got a lot going on. But when he said, yeah, I'll jump on, I feel so led about, and I don't play with this, but I feel so led about Revival and him being at the Light that originally we had a different date because he's got to go to Nigeria and we moved it up. And he was like, well, we can do it maybe in October. I said, no, we've got to close it out in September with this word so that when we step into the fourth quarter of this year, we are answering the call of purpose. We are shifting into our authentic self. And we're going to talk about that self thing in just a minute. So it's going to be great. I'm going to send him another invite. I think they may have gotten it right. So he'll post it on here. But New Light, I need you in the house. Invite everybody. I'm starting to send text messages out to everybody that I know to tell them that I want them to be here. I texted my trainer this morning and I was like, hey, you need to be in the building. It's going to be really, really, really great. So let's see if he is ready to come on. When he tells me, I want to make sure that I give him time to get all set up and situated. Oh, there he is. He just sent me a request. View request. He's ready. I'm ready for this dialogue. It's going to be real, real good. Let's see. And the man of the hour is, let's see. I love technology. So amazing.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back.
Fancy stuff that you work out.
Hey, they had to go regular with me. They had to go. They have to go regular. I don't have that anointing. It's moving all over the place. And I say, just give me a stand.
Just a regular. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. I do this every Wednesday, and we just have a conversation about life application. And when I tell you, I am so delighted that you accepted my invitation to be with the light on Harley Way. Like, I'm geeked. I need you to know.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm glad it worked out, man. I'm honored by the invitation. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. I really got like a million questions to ask you, but I guess that's another forum. Because this succession, I'm so interested in this succession. I'm interested in how you've managed it as a female. I'm interested in how you've managed it as a female in the South. We'll talk about that later. I'm just fascinated by that.
We may have to touch on it a little bit because I am fascinated with this book, and I listened to it this morning. And when you start talking about self and knowing yourself, you said something last night on your live, and I almost like threw my phone across the room about when you know yourself, and I may not say it right, but when you know yourself, then you attract the people and the tribe that's assigned to you. Can you break that down for me? Because it was like amazing. Like, I opened it, I was like, that's it.
Yeah. I think like I talk a little bit about it in the book. The scripture says, Jesus says, my sheep know my voice, another one they will not follow. And it is like when you become, or when you are willing to become your authentic and your real, if you aren't your authentic and your real self, your sheep can't find you because they can only identify the authentic you. And I tell people, God is so dope that some people are just your people, that somebody can say the same thing you're saying. They can be in the same lane you're in, but it doesn't resonate with people the same way. They don't get it the same way. They're not attracted the same way. And I think that's one of the reasons the enemy tries to talk us out of our own authenticity. Because he realizes and recognizes that there are some people you won't reach till the real you show up. So now I'm in a season of my life where I'm done just trying to reach people. I want my people. I want my people.
I want my people. We're talking about succession. And so a part of succession has been finding my people. And I thank God for people that joined our church, my father's leadership, and have stayed connected, but identifying my people, because I'm different than my dad. Like you said, I'm a female, dad is such a giant and a general in the body of Christ, but there are a group of people that are assigned. When I'm my authentic self, that's when I best function. And can you agree that it's taken some time as we've been in this, because we've been in this for a long time. Most people don't realize this. have been in this assignment from youth ministry, but navigate finding self, because you intertwine knowing self and purpose together.
Yeah. So for me, so you're right. It is a journey. I'm so glad you brought that up. You know what I mean? Because I think there are times where people expect to be where somebody else is when you're not in the season they're in. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, they've walked through some things. And so for me, I do believe that accomplishing your purpose doesn't just mean you do your best work. It means you become your best self, and you can't be your best self without being your real self. But it takes time to, one, understand your real self. That means you got to be willing to walk through seasons of not being fulfilled, being somebody else, before you get the courage and the divine agitation that you need to actually be yourself. I think initially we all are like expressions of who we've been influenced by. And at some point, even if you're fruitful with that, even if you are effective to a degree with that, at some point, you start feeling the worst kind of poverty, which is fulfillment poverty. Like poverty of finances is bad, poverty of fulfillment is worse. And you only get that when you're your authentic self. And I just think that's, if people want to know my journey, that was my journey. It was me kind of getting to the place where I realized, okay, being not suppressing and repressing who I actually am might be rewarding to everybody but me. Like everybody might love it but me. And so it's like, it's like, man, there are people who are in love with a version of me that felt suffocated. It was like, yo, y'all love this guy. I feel claustrophobic. I feel boxed in, and you love this. And now you're criticizing me for actually becoming me. So it took a while for me to understand it. And then this is another part of the conversation. Embracing it is something else, like being emotionally healthy enough to say, all right, this version of me is enough. And it's who it's for. And God's still going to use it. Like everything that's in my heart, he's going to do it anyway. He's just not going to do it that way. He's going to do it with me being me.
Listen, you just said so much that I'm trying to unpack it all. I gotta pick up that divine agitation, but that embracing it, because it is, because you're uncomfortable because you really aren't fulfilled, but then you're comfortable because some people that you may not agree with it.
Oof.
But then which one are you going to decide are you most uncomfortable with?
Exactly. That's strong.
Yeah. Which one are you going to be most uncomfortable with? And like you said, it's a place of reaching. And I used to think it was 40. I used to say, oh, when I turn 40, I kind of got it. But I'm discovering the more that I get to know Irisha, and the more I get to know self, and I'm okay with the unique differences in my life, the more I'm okay with me. It's not a thing. It's about, like you said, answering the call to purpose, shifting into that place where you embrace your differences, your uniqueness, and all of that. But talk about this divine agitation. I want you to a little bit.
Yeah, it's huge. It's been one of my greatest gifts. So this is I kind of talk about a little bit in the book, but there's this I call it there are like 4 things you got to be clear on if a person's really going to fulfill their purpose. And one of them is something I call unique agitation. I believe that you and I both can walk in the same room, see the same thing, something bother you, and then not bother me. Right? Right. And I feel like that part of our agitations are connected to our assignment. Like God will give you what I call a divine agitation, this holy discontent where it's like David. I want you to think about this. David walks up to the field where his brothers are, and everybody's been hearing Goliath offer insults all day. And they just chilling. And David hear that. He's like, wait, y'all, what's up with this?
Yeah.
Because he was agitated by it because he's assigned to it. See, purpose is an answer to a problem. And so God will give you a unique agitation for the problems you may created to solve. Anybody knows the light has a historic track record of excellence. And I'm going to tell you, when I came to strategies, when our church was only a couple of months old, it was my first experience with Black excellence on that level. I'd seen excellence. I had never seen excellence in a religious setting like that. And I had never seen excellence in an urban setting like that. I'd never seen it in my life. And so when you see something like that, I'm like, okay, it's some agitation in there somewhere. It's like, that means if it's not right, somebody bothered by that.
And now, pastor, there's always the changing of the words and the, what is important to you that was important to apostle. And because I've grown up in this excellence, I get agitated when I walk in a room and I'm like, y'all gotta, it's like we gotta it. But like you said, we can walk in the same room and we're gonna see different things because our assignment is different. But I think for long we have been told that the things that agitate us are bad things, and not the things that agitate us. Like, I'm big on, you're big on leadership, entrepreneurship, and the development of that. But there was a season where it's like, how are you going to pastor and be an entrepreneur?
Yes. Oh gosh.
And be feminine in your assignment without being offensive. But it's that agitation that you feel about how people look, or, in a room, or the naysayers, that really causes you to step up and answer the assignment. And I think where we've missed it sometimes is that being okay with the agitation and knowing that's a problem that we're assigned to solve.
I love it. Yeah, that's so true. I think we can be like apologetic over an agitational feel. I think we're responsible for our responses to it, but we shouldn't apologize for what we're agitated by, because what we're agitated by, it very often is the problem we've been assigned to fix. We've been anointed for it.
Yeah. So why do you think this conversation on purpose is so necessary? Because we hear the word all the time. I'm searching for purpose. I want to know my purpose. Find your purpose. And really, you could have got consumed and said, it's purpose stuff out there. But why do you feel this conversation is so necessary now?
You know what? I did feel that way. I did feel like I wanted to name the book, Who Do You Think You Are? But but anyway, it's a long story. It didn't quite work out that way. But I did feel that. I felt that a little bit, like, man, there's so much stuff out here on purpose. But I think what confirmed it for me, and I'm sure you experienced this in your dealings with people, it's like, man, as much information as there is about it, most of the people, as much information as there is out there on it, most people that I talk to are still confused about it.
True.
And so for me, it's like, yo, one thing you don't want to get wrong in life is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. There's a lot of stuff we can kind of get wrong, but when I'm seeing all of these people, and Dr. I, it was two types of confusion that people had that I saw the most, and one of them bothered me more than another. One was people who were confused about purpose, who just didn't have enough information. Like, they knew they didn't know. The confusion that bothered me the most was the people that I ran into who didn't have no information. They had misinformation. They thought they knew and they didn't. And they were arrogant and wrong. I know what I'm put here to do. I know what I'm called to do. I'm called to sing. It's like, nope, where God assigns, he empowers. You can't. So you're not supposed to be doing that.
That's not your assignment. Sometimes we will let somebody put us in an assignment and a purpose that doesn't fit us because of what they see for us. and be fear of what we see for ourselves, and we haven't done the work to know ourselves, we'll allow somebody to put us in a place where we're unfulfilled.
That's strong.
And I love how you take the fulfillment and because purpose and fulfillment are intertwined.
Yeah.
That living out my purpose, I'm going to experience fulfillment. And I love how you did that in the book. But most people are in a box because of what the world says, or there's some confusion because somebody else said it. And you made this point, the first chapter was so heavy. Like the first, I have to go back and listen to, but you talk about how and I agree with that. Like this Christian life it is not a journey of unfulfillment and emotional instability. Like that is probably a little bit better. You said it better than I just said it. But break that down of how we've got to break that cycle of unfulfillment and just going on this pattern of just not enjoying life.
Yeah.
And searching, I guess.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know how it kind of became a part of Christian culture, but it is almost as if we have accepted and it's almost as if we have accepted an inferior emotional quality of life as a sign of spiritual commitment. It's weird. It's almost like I'm more committed if I deny the reality of my desire to have a superior emotional quality of life. And I think what got me, Dr. I, is one day I just got an epiphany about Galatians when Paul talks about the fruit of the Spirit. And when I looked at it, I was like, most of this emotional.
Yeah.
Joy.
Yeah.
Peace. I was like, man. So you start listening to some of the things that Jesus said. He says, I'm going to give you peace, not peace as the world gives. I mean, I'm going to give you a superior quality of peace. So if you only have the kind of peace that the world has, even though you got peace, you settle it. Because there's another level. There's another type of peace that surpasses your understanding. There's a kind of peace that's not attached to circumstances. And so I couldn't just read the Bible and see everything God had to say about my soul and the emotional quality of my life, and then say, I'm gonna be okay accepting anything less than that. I don't care. If you don't want it, that's fine with you. Yeah. For you, I want it and I want to have it. I didn't ask him for it. He promised it to me.
Like how we kind of read over those, like, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper in health, even as thy soul prospers. Like, it's not just you being rich in spirit, but in every area of your life. But I think we get so distracted because, as you said, it goes back to knowing self. And yes, knowing yourself is also fine in your calling. And you talk about, because I got a couple more minutes, I'm trying to get some nuggets. See, let's go. I know you're going to just lay us all out on Tuesday with the revelation is, and I've grown up around a thinker and a prolific, I mean, of course, Dad is amazing. Yeah. Definitions. So, I don't just listen to anybody. Like, you got to make me think. You got to make me, but that calling and the roles. Because a lot of times we feel like we're answering the call, but we're really, but I'll break that down. So tell me about this.
Yeah, that's a great question. I saw somebody even in the comments ask the question like, hey, do I have several purposes? Sometimes does it change? And when people say, Dharius, how do I make sure I fulfill my purpose? I'll say, hey, if you answer God's call to the roles he asks you to play in the seasons he asks you to play them in, that's the way over the course of your life you accomplish your purpose. Now, I'm going to use your life for an example. I don't know everything about your life, but I'm going to use the parts of your life that I've seen from a distance as an example. There was a season where you played the role as a youth pastor, and it was one of the premier urban youth ministries in the country. There was nothing urban like Spiritual Encounter. There was no one on television serving that demographic in the urban setting. Yeah. So, were you outside of purpose because you weren't the senior pastor of New Light? Absolutely not. Right. God called you to a role. He gave you a set of responsibilities for a season. Now you faithfully stewarded that. If you would have still been trying to do Spiritual Encounter, now you'd be out of purpose. Because there was a season that, okay, you say, now you go from here to COO. Now you go from COO to senior pastor. So your willingness to say yes to the different roles that God calls you to play in different seasons is what determines whether or not you fulfill your purpose. And some people think purpose is one yes. It's not. It's whenever God say your time is up. And sometimes he say your time is up in something you still winning in. It is, you know? And people looking at you crazy, like, why don't you do that anymore? He's like, yeah, you like, he called me to a different role.
He called me, and it's okay to shift. That's, you know, Tuesday, that's the whole thing, shifting into purpose, because a lot of times we're winning in a season when he's trying to shift us into another season, into another victory. We quote it all the time, like he takes us from faith to faith and glory to glory. But when you're in that shift, it's like, can you trust God with the next season that he can do even greater than he did before? And so, you know, I call it a multi-generational church. We're in a season now before maybe 4 to 5 generations at any given time. We're working with 4 to 5 generations. And so in my church, there are 80-year-olds, there are 20-year-olds, there are 30-year-olds. You know, I know sometimes it's like, oh, Dr. Dharius Daniels for the young people. No, you need to be in this place on Tuesday, because at 70, there's another shift into purpose that you have. But we comfortable in the past success that we can't shift into future success. So talk about that real quick, that shifting out of one season into the next.
You know, I think it was so strong because I didn't even think about this when I wrote the book, and I wish I had talked to you before I did it, because I would have put this in there. Because you're right, people relegate the purpose conversation to a younger demographic. One, the first thing is not logical, because you mean to tell me you still alive and God still don't want to do nothing with you? I don't care if you're 80. God's not done. Here's the other thing, it's unbiblical, because Caleb was in his 80s. And he went to Joshua, he said, give me this mountain. And so I feel like the mentality that people should have should be like, man, listen, God, I'm going to shift whenever you shift me. So I'm going to be open to what you have to say about me when it comes to shifting. Because some people might hear shifting the purpose, and they like, I'm already in my purpose. You've closed off your ear to the voice of God because you've made an assumption there's not another shift left in you. And so I don't want people to see the theme for this revival and just assume, oh, I'm good there. That's not for me because I'm spiritually mature. That's not for me because I'm at an age in my life where I don't need another shift. No, we play in the kingdom. We play the infinite game. We play the infinite game. There's a contribution in some way God wants us to make until he takes us to heaven. And we all need to keep our ears open for the shift.
So good, so good, so good, so good. You gave me 30 minutes. I'm going to, but I am so excited about you being here on Tuesday. Yeah, we got to do something where we can dialogue, because, you know, we have just kind of journeyed along this path together, and the succession and the shifting into purpose and the multiple locations. And I been from afar. I believe that you should always be a student. So I'm watching, I'm taking notes. I'm excited about in your life. Shout out to your beautiful wife, Lady Shamika. She is absolutely amazing. But I'm looking forward to having you here on Tuesday. It's going to be amazing. And thank you for joining me. They can get your book where?
Everywhere books are sold.
Everywhere.
Wherever books are sold, you can get the book. It's my honor. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been praying about and thinking through what direction I'm gonna go. And so, man, I'm just believing it's gonna be an incredible time. And I'm gonna be praying and pushing you more. I see what you're doing with Shiro and all of this, but there's this space needs what you have learned as a woman in leadership. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I'm in the marketplace, and I'm in ministry, and there are the largest demographic of small business owners now are women. Women are occupying their rightful place in leadership roles, and they're just dynamics that somebody like me can't navigate them through because there's stuff I don't understand. So I'm just praying that you just keep, and I'll talk to you when I get to Houston, because I got a million ideas about, but I'm praying that you kind of step into that space, because people need it, and they out here, I'm telling you, out here trying to figure it out on their own. And you doing it. You're not a theorist, you're a pragmatist, you're actually leading. And I know you're doing this Shiro stuff, but I want you to put your foot down and help these sisters. And when you do, you're gonna see a whole nother flood of people flocking to Houston to sit at your feet.
When I tell you, I'm gonna text you, because when I tell you this is so point what you're saying, and I'm just like, okay, God, I get it. So yes, we carve out some time, sit down and talk, because even just listening to your book and the season that I'm in my life, and when you said, when you know yourself, you're going to attract the people that are assigned to you. And I was like, okay, God, I've just been saying, okay, it's that yes to him. So yes, we have to talk. And so in the midst of sharing with the people, we got to have a talk, and I am looking forward to it. I don't take connections by chance. I believe in divine connections. And you remember I told you, I said, you got to come in September. I was like, I can't October. So if it's got to be Tuesday, a Monday night, whatever it is, September. I just believe it's the word that we need as we shift into the fourth quarter. And that I told my church, you are one of the preachers that I listen to. And I'm never going to bring somebody before the people that I can't eat at their table as well. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, we got to talk, and keep pushing me.
I got you. All right. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Tuesday at 7 p.m., Dr. Dharius Daniels will be with us. Make sure you register. I'm going to have somebody put the code REVIVAL2 to 71441. It's going to be absolutely amazing. If I were you, I would get to the building. I know everybody likes the convenience of watching it online, but there are some rooms that you need to be in. And this is a room that you need to be in on Tuesday. It's happening at our North location. And then I want to encourage you to do the competition, post a selfie, inviting your friends, inviting people to come. And remember to use the hashtag NLC Revival. It's going to be amazing. For those of you who are out of town and asking, is this going to be online? We'll let you know next week. But yes, it will be virtual, so I can go ahead and tell you. But for Houston, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the building, whether you are a member of the light or not, whether you're old or young. This is your purpose is calling you to be at New Light on Tuesday, 7 p.m. And did I tell y'all, it's absolutely free. I'm not charging for you to come and get this impartation and this shift. It is a free revival night to take your life to the next level. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for Lunchtime Live. Many of you all asked if we're saving this. We're going to upload it. Today has been great. Great treat. Looking forward to Tuesday. And then, of course, y'all know tonight is Better Self Night at the Light. We'll be online tonight. And then on Sunday, we're continuing in our Me versus Me series. And so you want to tune in to that. It's round 3 on Sunday. All right. So y'all stay connected, stay locked in, and we're going to answer the call to purpose, and it's going to be fulfilling at the same time. I hope to see you at Revival Night on Tuesday. God bless y'all. Y'all have an amazing Wednesday. I'm about to get back to work. I couldn't tell if you were off.